Here I am on lovely Fish Island. I'm out here trying to find where there's a festival on, and I've got a bit lost. But I decided it's just so beautiful here at the moment that I'd stop and take a video, and I think I'll video of me riding back through the salt fields. Fish Island, or Cotre in Khmer. There's the sun setting off to the west, and you may not be able to make it out, but I'll zoom in. That is Phu Quoc Island, Vietnam, and this is the high point on Fish Island. Behind there's a beach. I've been there before, but I'm not going to head there today. Or is that Phu Quoc? I think this is Phu Quoc. I've got my directions mixed up. As you can see, we're surrounded by salt fields, and there's been a little bit of harvesting on some of the ones I've passed, so if I see that on the way back, we'll stop and have a look. Lovely sunset, just beautiful out here. There's some spectacular spots on Fish Island, especially the north facing that looks at Bokor. There's some wonderful spots along there. Oh God, I hope this motorbike starts. Yep, there we go. Old faithful. Yeah. I haven't got Google Maps installed on my phone, so I've gotten lost looking for the festival. So, unless I manage to stumble on it on the way back, Google Maps will be the first thing I install when I get home after the drive today. Fish Island's an interesting place. It's full of salt fields, and I couldn't imagine it had been a very prosperous area back in the day. But with development, there's some really swish hotels, resorts and guest houses popping up. And I'm sure some of that money for the land will be flowing into the local community. There's a heavy charm presence on Fish Island. I'm not sure what the percentage would be, but I guess by observation they'd be in the majority here on the island. It reminds me of when I first arrived in Cambodia 23 years ago, and I went to Siem Reap, which was then at the time, probably still is now, the most heavily touristed part of Cambodia. But just the genuine friendliness and welcoming nature of the people, I've been encountering that out here on Fish Island today. Just people, as I pass them, saying hello, waving, smiling. Yeah, it's got a really nice vibe. You can also smell burning in the air. I'm not sure what's going on, if they're burning fields or if I'm just here on a day when everyone's burning off their rubbish, because of course there's not going to be rubbish collection out here. And because of its nature, I doubt there'd be any rice farming here, because all the water's fed through canals and pumped in and then dehydrated and salt collected. These are some of the sheds we're passing along the way. Hello, I'm lost. Do you know where the festival is? There's a festival on the island starting tonight.
I don't know.
You don't know, okay, cool. You're just here by chance, eh? You're not looking for the festival too?
Oh, we're looking for the sunset.
Cool. I'll leave you to it, enjoy. It's on again the next 3 nights. Tonight is the opening and it's free, and I was just going to go and check it out, but I haven't been able to find it. I've been driving around this island for 3 hours now. Cheers. I think from their accents they were French, and we get a large proportion of French expatriates living in Kampot and also tourists. Though French is really not spoken due to the Khmer Rouge period. The number of French speakers kind of disappeared. I've met a handful of Khmers who can speak French in my years here. I learned French at school, so I can speak a little bit of it. There's a stupa, a merit in the next life. Camera probably can't pick them up, but there are swifts around. Water buffalo. Brahman cows are not so exotic, but I love water buffaloes. Something about it. Coconut palms coming from the west. There's always something so exotic about them, but I suppose if you lived here all your life it'd be different. But even after 20 years, more than 20 years here, I find them enchanting. So which way are we going to go back? As you heard me say there before, I've been driving around this island taking every road, but I've had no luck so far. I think I've already been along that road. Let's try along here. This will be my last shot before I give up and head back to Kampot and install Google Maps and come back tomorrow. Can't believe it. I came early thinking, oh, I'll find it. It'll be sign marked. There'll be signs everywhere telling you how to get there. Nah, because they really marketed it heavily online, but no directions once you get out of here of how to actually find where the festival was. I thought it'd be obvious. And that's one of the biggest swift houses I've ever seen in my life. The sounds you can hear, that's coming out of a speaker. They play the Swift song to attract swifts, and I've mentioned in other videos how it's worth its weight in gold, apparently. Bird's nest soup, the Chinese have interesting beliefs about that, as they do with many of their foods. Lovely and cool this time of the evening. This is a fairly warm time of the year at the moment here in the middle of the day. It can be hard to be out in the middle of the day, but the mornings and evenings are wonderful. And that's when I saw the people harvesting salt earlier. Later part of the day when the sun's going down, it's not so oppressively hot. And you'd think the salt they'd get out of there would be not pure white. They'd have to clean it and filter it, but the piles they were making, pure white. We'll set up here actually. There you go, a bit of Khmer karaoke. Someone's got a cafe in the salt fields with a petrol station. Going on there tonight. More salt sheds where the salt is dried. Wow, it's semi-dried in the ponds and then dried in the sheds, those tin sheds that get bloody hot. And back over to Bokor again. Sometime in the new year I'll head out and do a trip to Bokor. It's been a little while since I've been out there, and I'll show you the sights out there. It's a magical place. It used to be a hill resort in colonial times, as many colonial places had. Colonial officials would, hottest time of the year, go up Bokor for a bit of respite. Gansberg beer everywhere, Timor. You'd love that, eh? Quality German beer. They put on a lot of free concerts, Gansberg. Really put the money into marketing. Oh, here we go. There's some harvesting going on. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. I can just make out the little white mounds of the salt, pure white, and I'll zoom in. Hopefully you can pick them up. They're in the middle of the picture right now. There's someone carting them on the, I forget what you call the baskets you hang on a pole across your neck. Looks like a family enterprise there, washing down after a hard day work. It would be hard days work. Pan back around the Bokor. Beautiful. Who's today? See, I've been getting that all day, and I haven't really felt like this since 23 years ago in Siem Reap, really. There's so many Westerners and foreigners in Cambodia now. You're not a novelty as a foreigner, really. People are still friendly, but you're... That looks like, yep, that's rice there. So there is some rice paddies here. Didn't notice those before. Thought it might be too saline on the island for rice to grow, but obviously not. And I'm getting circled by swifts, so I don't know if the camera picked that up then. They were doing laps around me. The old salt drying sheds. That looks like an older one. Road's a little bit rough, as you might tell from the camera shaking. Sorry about that, guys. It is what it is. I'm not a polished producer. I'm just pointing and shooting. Cute government buildings. Community health centre. That resemble a temple. There is one concrete road on Fish Island. This place is going to change so much. I hope someone's looking back on this 10 years or whatever from the future now and thinking, wow, is that how it looked back then? And that's a traditional Khmer style home, larger than most, built on stilts, and basically people sleep upstairs, but everything else is done downstairs underneath in the cover of the stilts. Cooking, because they don't want the smells and the heat inside the house, and that's a really old style one. Dogs in Cambodia are quite happy to lay in the middle of the road, even in the middle of town. It's nice. People go around one another, even the dogs here. As I've mentioned in other videos, Fish Island's in the estuary of the river that runs through Kampot, Chu Tuk River, Tuk Chu. And it forks out, it's separated from the mainland. There's one permanent connection, a bridge, recently been updated and a new bridge put in. And there are foreigners living on the island already, and there'll only be more in the future, I'd imagine. Another swift house there. Really want to go and do a tour of them one day, but I imagine they'd smell quite funky on the inside. Yeah, and here we are. We're on the road that leads to the bridge now. I recognise this. Yes, and we've hit the concrete road. And I think these will let out the foreigners, these units here. I've driven past and seen foreigners here before. Having a road like this too does increase the value of every property near it, because in the wet season, if you don't have a concrete road as this is, or a tarmac one, travel on a motorbike can be a little bit dirty and slow. We're getting closer to the bridge. Well, even though I got lost today, I've had a good time. It's been just wonderful driving around. Been out to the island quite a few times, but this was the most back and forth I've done along every road looking for the festival today in one day. There's a beach at the southern end of it, although to call it a beach might be overdoing it. It's more like a mud flat. that I've been to before and had a swim. Rightio chickadees, travellers, this is the bridge that joins it over to the mainland, and I hope you enjoyed your little ride through Fish Island with me today. There's the shining lights of Kampot City over there. That's a dinner boat cruise strip that I've done a walk along before if you check my playlist. There's Bokor Mountain and the estuary river that divides Fish Island from the mainland. And just looking up Bokor, we'll call it a wrap. Okay, if you liked it, please like, subscribe and comment. Really helps grow my channel and I'd appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time, guys. Have a good one.